Hi everyone, good morning. It's Margaret Manning here, and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today's Wednesday, it's January the 4th. So good morning, welcome to you all here. I really want to first of all thank you for being here. Every morning I get up and look forward to this opportunity to know that there's so many women out there that make this part of their day, that enjoy the conversations that we have, and I want to thank you for your support. And I also want to encourage you to tell a friend about Mornings with 60 and Me. I know you've got girlfriends and friends out there who are over 60 or approaching 60, maybe in their late 50s, and really want a place where they feel safe as they make this transition. This is a really fascinating time of life. You know, in many ways, it's like the feelings and emotions we felt when we were in our 20s, when we were building our first relationships. You know, things have kind of been redefined. Perhaps our children have left home, we may be divorced, or, you know, just in a situation that is not perfect for us, and be thinking about how we're going to redefine the relationships that we have in our life. Now, I always find that a cup of tea helps with this. Conversation. So I'm actually having my green tea this morning. It's just a very simple jasmine green tea, and it's helping me to get myself ready for a conversation that isn't always very well received by our women, by our community. And I want to raise it because we haven't talked about it, I don't think, in the entire time I've been doing Mornings with 60 and Me. And it's one that is kind of this hidden part of ourselves. Now, there's been actually a lot of pushback when I talk about this topic. So if you're listening and you don't agree with what we're sharing, that's fine. I mean, if it's not necessary to comment if you don't agree with it, unless you feel like you've got something constructive that you want to say, that would be wonderful. But this is emotional, so it always gets people, feeling a little bit intense. But the main thing is, I want to first of all give you a quote by an author named Gabriel Garcia Marquez. He wrote some wonderful books, 100 Years of Solitude and others that I have loved. But he said, everyone has three lives: a private life, a public life, and a secret life. And I think that our secret life is where this conversation goes today. You know, there's the person that we present to the world. There's the person that we have that we know very well, we keep to ourselves, but our friends, we share with our friends and close relationships. But then there's the secret life. So here's the question for today. Does dating after 50 require us to make a choice between independence and intimacy? Now, when I use the word dating, there's a spectrum, right? I mean, I'm not talking about finding a husband or a lover or a boyfriend. I'm just talking about meeting men and having a relationship after 50. What is the choice that we have to make? Now, I've written about this several times, and I'll actually include the link to this recent article because I'll just frame it in terms of my own situation, and then we can have a conversation. So the question I always ask myself is, do I want to live in total freedom, wear what I want, go where I want, do everything I want on my terms, or which is true, unadulterated, undefined, unstructured independence? Or do I want to compromise in order to have intimacy in my life? Now, I think we all agree by now in our 60s that men and women are different. It doesn't matter how much we want men to be like our best girlfriend, they're not going to be that. So they have a different set of ways that they deal with the world and the way that they see women and the way they see the world. So whether we like it or not, it is my opinion and the opinion of lots of dating coaches that in order to have a successful attempt at building relationships with men after 60, we have to try to see things through their lens and maybe make a few compromises. Now, people may be saying to themselves, this is ridiculous. You know, at this age, I will have exactly what I want. And if men don't want to, meet me halfway or don't want to play the game on my terms, then I don't need them in my life. As simple as that. And that's actually a fair response. That's okay. And I think that as long as you're really, your secret life is really happy with that, then it's totally fine to just go on living your life the way you want. Have friends of all, men and women, but does not expect to have any intimacy, and in your life. Now, I'm talking about intimacy in a very broad sense. I'm not just talking about sex and about physical intimacy, although that is one of the elements that we might miss in our 60s. It's the things that are a bit more subtle. It's the kiss, just a kiss. It's a touch. It's just a hug. It's someone looking you in the eyes and saying, you are really beautiful, or I love you, or I really enjoy the time that we spend together. That's spectrum. But it's that intimacy of a physical attachment. It's intimacy of conversations where you share that secret life with a man. You tell him about your dreams, the things that you've done in your life that you maybe would have liked to done a do-over on. The things that you feel sorry for, the things that you feel positive about, all those secret conversations that you can only have with someone that trusts you, that you trust. That's the kind of intimacy that I'm talking about. Now, if you're looking for that, maybe every smart, dynamic, attractive, confident woman doesn't need this, and says maybe, well, of course I want both. But I think the general consensus is that you can't have both. Now, the conflict or the discussion between intimacy and independence is pretty straightforward when you're in a marriage or in a close relationship. Because once you're in that relationship, and if it started when you were younger and you're committed to having family together or to building a life, really being committed to one another, you kind of learn each other's ways. You learn the things that you can do, the things you have to compromise on, and you seem to be more comfortable in that setting. It's certainly in my case, it was that case. I was very independent when I was married, and I loved doing all kinds of things on my own. I traveled alone. I had so much freedom. My ex-husband was very supportive of that, and I never had any feeling that I wasn't free or that I didn't have independence. But there were things about our relationship that I knew were kind of those secret grounds, where he had particular preferences, and I was just prepared to not want that, to just not make a big deal out of it. I was prepared to compromise. And in that compromise, I achieved the freedom and intimacy that I wanted. That was good. I think a lot of women feel this way, that when they're in the middle of raising children and in a relationship and a marriage, or just close partnership, that they can compromise, that it's okay, because they want both. They want intimacy and they want independence. Now, I think as we get older and we have got more time, our children have left home, we've kind of done our job as a mom or as a wife, we now want more in the next relationship. We want it to be both. We want it to be our femininity that we fought so hard for in when we were younger is now kind of a baseline requirement. We want to be treated equally. We want men to respect and to give us all the freedom that we need. And I think the challenge here, and this is the room for conversation, is that according to dating coaches like Lisa Copeland, men in their 60s are pretty much like they were in their 30s and 40s. They want a woman to look up to them, to treat them as a bit of a hero, to bring out, to let their femininity bring out the masculinity in them. They like being pampered. They like being looked after. So a lot of women think, this is crazy. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to make the first move. I'm not going to, do what a man wants just to get his attention or to have him in my life. But I think the question then kind of boils down to, do you celebrate your femininity? Do you flirt? Do you, say things to start a conversation somewhere? Do you compliment a man? Do you make him feel good? Do you make him feel like a man? This is what Lisa and other dating coaches I've talked to have said are important. So I guess I've kind of laid it out there. I think that we have a choice in our lives, and maybe this year is the year you say to yourself, to your secret self, I would really like a man in my life. I would like a friend, a lover, a husband. Say it. If it's, don't have to say it to me or to anyone else, but this is your secret self talking to you. Do you want that? And if you do, how far are you prepared to go? How much are you prepared to compromise your independence in order to have intimacy? That's the question for today. Are you going to open your secret doors and let someone into your life this year? Or are you doing just fine by yourself? You don't want to date? Don't care. Either way, it's totally fine. But I just think there's enough women who do want intimacy in their life that it's a nice conversation to have. So I would love to get your feedback. Do you agree that women, when they're trying to establish a relationship in their 60s, have to make a choice between independence and intimacy in order for it to work? Let's start a conversation. Leave your thoughts and your feedback, and be kind to each other. Let's say what is truthful and honest and constructive. And I really do look forward this time to joining in the conversation and and sharing our thoughts together. So, hope that was a good topic for you and raised a few interesting thoughts. I look forward to your comments in the conversation, and I will see you all back here tomorrow on Mornings with 60 and Me. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye for now.